Welcome to Southeast Ivy Sports Talk Live, everyone. I am your host, Dandy Andy Kretzinger, here with my co-host, Hunter the Maniac Moeller, and we're bringing you some spring sports. Who are we powered by on this show, Hunter?
That'd be Fairway Food Stores.
I guess it would, wouldn't it?
It would.
I invite all of you this week. This is a challenge. April, it's basically like the second New Year because you've already screwed up your New Year's resolution. Here's your April resolution, everyone. Every single sponsor company you see on the bottom right here. I'm not sure if it's there because we're on Zoom today.
Right.
Maybe we're there, but whatever. You need to pay them a visit. Just pay them a visit. Go get some tacos. Go buy a car. Go do that stuff.
Tacos sound good.
We're talking spring sports. And Hunter, would we like to talk a little soccer action today?
Yeah, a little bit of soccer. You want to talk about a little soccer?
Talk a little soccer. What do you think, boy? You want to do the men's or the ladies?
I can do whatever you want, man. I've got Fairfield
because of that
pulled up.
confidence.
Yeah.
Because of that confidence, let's do a little girls soccer. Why don't you tell me what's been going on in girls soccer, Mr. Hunter?
All right. I got you. So first off, we'll kick it off with last week. We've got Mount Pleasant heading over to Fairfield for the Two's first Southeast Conference match of the season. I tell you what, Mount Pleasant looking pretty good in the early season here. They pick up a 10-0 victory over Fairfield for their first Southeast Conference win, and it was also the first one of the season for the Panthers. Fairfield's still searching for their first win, but it was a huge night for Teresa Huerta, Panthers' kind of main striker. She kind of controls the midfield and gets in at goals, so she does a little bit of everything. 6 goals for her on the night, so 10-0 win for Mount Pleasant there. We'll jump ahead here to last night. Mount Pleasant hosted Washington, and that one ended with a 2-0 final in favor of Mount Pleasant. So Mount Pleasant still undefeated here in the early season in the Southeast Conference. Really, it was kind of it was a tight-knit game, obviously, the 2-0 final, but really, Mount Pleasant controlled the majority of the possession, just limited Washington on the offensive end. They picked it up a little bit in the second half, created a handful of chances, but just couldn't find the back of the net. It's kind of a thing. Mount Pleasant's looking really good this year, defensively and offensively. They've always, I feel like, the past couple of years, they've always been, pretty good offensively, but I think defensively they're really maybe, stepped it up a notch this season, I'd say. But Soraya Sanchez got the Panthers going in the first half, and then Tori Wilson scored the second in that first half, and that was enough to get by Washington and stay undefeated in Southeast Conference play. Obviously, just two games in there.
Yeah, two games in, but looks like Mount Pleasant and Burlington are the only 2-0 teams unless Fort Mass, since the results aren't in from last night. I was going to go back to this just a little history, because we like to do a little history lesson when Mount Pleasant and Washington play in girls soccer. Oh, Mount Pleasant beat Washington 3-0 last year. That stopped a 7-game streak of 1-goal games. I think 6 of those went into overtime. So I forgot about the game last year. I was going to say this is the first one that hasn't been a 1-goal in forever, but Mount Pleasant has had the core of the Panther girls is a lot of the core from the last couple of years. They're one of those teams where, a couple of years ago, you're like, oh, these freshmen and sophomore are really good. They're going to be really good one day.
Right.
And speaking of that, the Panther boys are giving those vibes right now. I also attended a Mount Pleasant Fairfield and a Mount Pleasant Washington game, but this time on the boys' side. And on Thursday in Mount Pleasant at East Lake Park, it was a wild one between Mount Pleasant and Fairfield. This thing was a 0-0 game all the way until 6 minutes left in the second half, but it was not a boring, windy, everyone's kicking the ball out of bounds, nobody comes close to scoring 0-0 game. There are tons of opportunities. Zachary LeBlanc was playing very well in net for Mount Pleasant, actually saved a penalty kick in the second half, and when it's 0-0 and you got a penalty kick, that's a tough save because that's all the pressure in the half. And this one ends up going into shootout 1-1. There was a goal from Mount Pleasant from Axel Ruiz. Fairfield in the second half had kind of dominated possession a little bit, at least leading up to this goal by Axel, and got a long pass and slipped by a defender and scored. I believe the assist on that went to Jackson Newman. And then with 1 minute left, Dalton Drishu was having a great game in goal for the Trojans, bombs one all the way down the field, and it found a very reliable foot of Jackson Allen, who had a couple defenders on him, slips by him, scores to tie it up with 1 minute left. Then we go into overtime. Then we go into double overtime. And Mount Pleasant, thanks a lot to another big save by Zachary LeBlanc to start this shootout. They end up winning the shootout 4-2. So the final score on Varsity Bound says 5-3. It's a little wonky. I wish it said like 1-1. I think a normal soccer. It says one. It's supposed to be 1-1 like little parentheses or something like that, or it's whatever. Anyway, so Mount Pleasant wins the shootout 4-2. Mount Pleasant beats Fairfield for the first time since 2019 in boys soccer, and leading up to Thursday night, Fairfield in the last 7 games between Fairfield and Mount Pleasant, the Trojans had outscored the Panthers 30-1 in the last 7 games. Mm-hmm. And last night, the Panthers get their first win. So over there, or not last night, that was Thursday night. Now, last night, speaking of a rivalry that has been one-sided recently, Washington has they came into last night riding a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game winning streak. I remember when it was about the opposite. Mount Pleasant had went on a run of like 4 years beating Washington boys soccer. Lately, it's been all Demons, and last night it was a tale of two halves. Mount Pleasant in Washington, a team that I think could definitely win the conference this year, goes up 2-0 before the half. Dylan White and Jonah Zimmer both had goals. In fact, Mount Pleasant almost had a third goal a couple of different times, even though I would say that in both halves, Washington probably got the majority of the chances. And in the second half, the Demons just went crazy, just stormed back. I mean, the second half started, Washington looked like a totally different team, and they got some goals here. Let's see, 36 52 in the second quarter, or the second half was the first goal. That one went to Edwin Cortez, who had 2 goals and a win against Burlington game before. Talked to him after the game. And then we had a goal from Washington's all-time leading scorer, Brian Areola, to tie the game at 2-2. That was only 10 minutes later, so that was 25 minutes left. And then 5 minutes after that, Lucas Lindsay gets a hold of one off of a save and puts it in, and the Demons go up 3-2. Mount Pleasant had a chance to tie it late, but Washington survives. They're now 3-0 overall. They're now 2-0 in the conference. So, and Washington's beaten Burlington and Mount Pleasant, 2 teams that have kind of looked a little strong here early on, as well in the 2 teams that I think would have been tough matchups after all. And so anyway, Mount Pleasant now 1-1 in boys soccer, and Washington 2-0. And it seems like we might have a little parity in the boys soccer ranks because those are 2 really close games. There have been other close games, so we'll see how that all turns out.
Yeah, and I wanted to just mention here, we didn't mention Fairfield, but Fairfield last night took on Fort Madison. Both Fort Madison teams are very well-rounded. The girls fall 10-0, 6 goals in the first half, and then 4 more in the second. As Fort Madison picks up a win there, as you mentioned, they're 3-0 in the conference here. Fairfield girls still looking for their first win. On the boys' side, Fort Madison's been really good in recent years. Looking pretty strong this year. They're 2-1 right now overall. Pretty sure you said they were. Let's see, their 2 wins. They defeated Williamsburg and then Keokuk last week. So yeah, they're 2-0 now in the conference. All three of their goals came in the first half. 3-0 win for Fort Madison. So Fairfield now 1-2 on the season. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like with these results, especially on the boys' side, it seems like it's really up in the air of who's going to take it, because there hasn't been anybody that's like never really came out and like just walked somebody. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. On the girls'
I'd say
side, it seems like you're kind of seeing early on who kind of the superior teams are. On the boys' side, it might be a little bit a little bit closer here, at least looking at these early season results.
yeah, for sure. I think Keokuk is the only team that's had a little struggle,
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
struggled in boys soccer so far.
yeah.
Of course, part of that was playing Fort Mass in the first one. So,
Hmm.
yeah, so that's where we stand in soccer. By the way, this Thursday, the Washington and Fairfield will go against each other, home and home, like always are supposed to be. Mount Pleasant against Keokuk, and then Burlington and Fort Mass, and that's Thursday's matchups. You were a little track on Thursday,
Yes,
Hunter.
sir.
One of
Yes,
these
sir.
Thursday track meets, and you were at Case Field, if I am correct. A little co-ed action. Can you tell me some winners from that meet?
Yeah, the Demon Relays, annual Demon Relays, always a great event up there. Co-ed meet, as you mentioned, 13 girls teams, 12 boys. Up there on Thursday. Um, just read off the team scores and then maybe get to some top results. But Washington, the Washington girls led the Union area with 101 total points. The Demons fell 3 points short to champion Tipton, who had 104 points. So Washington girls second there. Mount Pleasant girls took third with 82 points. Hillcrest Academy, 22 points. They finished eighth. Fairfield had 20 points for ninth. Highland 5 points for 11th. Washington JV also competed, had 4 points for 12th, and then Waco had 1 point for 13th. On the boys' side, Fairfield was the highest Union area placer with 57 points for a third place finish. Washington right behind them, just 2 points behind them. Followed in fourth, 55 points, Mount Pleasant, eighth with 24 points. Waco, 22 points, was ninth. Hillcrest Academy placed 10th with 20 points. And then Mid Prairie had 11 points for 12th. So we'll just mention maybe the teams' top two winners, or top winners, and then or top finishers, I guess. But starting with Washington, two winners on the day for the girls. Ton of top five finishes, but sophomore Iris Dole was a winner, taking the 3,000 meter run, 10 minutes 43.31 seconds for her there. And then the other winner for the Demon Girls was Leighton Messenger. Took the 100 meter hurdle crown. 17.04 was her time in that. Let me get down here to the next. Took a while to write this one because I just decided to do top five finishes, and there was a lot of top five
A
finishes.
lot. I heard they ever do top five. There's always a lot of them.
Yeah. Mount Pleasant had two first place wins. Sophomore Alex Scott, and I guess Ann Canley White went 1 and 2 in the 200 meter dash. 26.90 was Scott's time. The other top finish for Mount Pleasant came in the 4x2. The quartet of Bailey Jalis, Kenley White, Alex Scott, Andy Scott ran 1:48.73. That was good enough for a new meet record. Those four are looking pretty dang fast here in the early season in that event
They are.
specifically. Let's get down here. And then Hillcrest Academy on the girls' side had four fourth place finishes, so we'll just go with their top two here. The sprint medley of Morgan Naziger, Eva Helmuth, Delaney Shaw, and Ryan Scott finished with a time of 2 minutes 2.42 seconds. So that was one of their fourth place finishes, and then Scott. We've kind of talked about her having pretty much every event she's in. She finishes pretty high in the rankings. Same time this round, she had a slew of top five finishes. Finished fourth in the 100 meter with a time of 13.18. Fourth again in long jump, and then she also placed fifth in the 200 meter, 27.83 in there. So pretty nice showing for her. And then Fairfield had some top five finishes. Highest finish for them was freshman Samantha Lyons, third place finisher in the 400 meter dash, 1:05.70 for her. And then Lily Bergen was a bronze medalist in the 400 meter hurdles for the Trojans, 1:13.87. So Fairfield's highest finishers there. And then Highland's highest finisher on the day was Mackenzie Davis. The 100 meter hurdles finished fifth overall with a time of 18.74. Alrighty. And then Waco had no top 5 finishers on the day, but Zoe Denler was their highest placer. She took 6th in the 100-meter hurdles, 18.84. Now on to the boys' side. Fairfield had mentioned them getting third. They had a pretty great day. Numerous top 5 finishes. Pacing the Trojans on the day was a pair of second-place finishes coming from Eli Zillman in high jump and then Ryan Geberson, not in high jump this time, but in the 110-meter hurdles. Zillman cleared 6.2 for second place, and then Geberson got over the hurdles in 16.18. So Fairfield high jump, we know that they've been pretty good to say the least.
Yeah.
So they showed flashes last year, but it seems like they're kind of stepping it up here on the early track season. So
they had a crowd of them out. The last meet I was at, they had a crowd of kids from other schools watching them finish out that last couple jumps.
Mm-hmm. On to the Washington boys. Josh Anderson threw her new meet record in wheelchair shot put, 11.2.50 for the top spot. And then the other second place finishers for the Demons were Micah Reese, who ran 4:25.03 in the 1600 meter, and then the distance medley of Kaiser Gomez Valdez, Alex Yunlin, Logan McDowell, and Reese clocked 3:41.79 for second there. Washington finishers on the day. Mount Pleasant was led by 2 silver medalists, both coming in relays. The 4x4 of Nate Stroud, Jude Dijkstra, Jordan Lane, and then Payson Coleman ran 3:48.38 for second, and then the 4x1 of Haiyan Kwong, Mason Sloat, Coleman, and Avon Truong posted a time of 45:33 there for a second place finish. And then Waco ended with 2 fourth place finishes and 3 fifth, but the fourth place finishes, Gage Salmo, 102.15 in the 400 meter hurdles, and then Loudon Housingate placed 4th in the 110 meter hurdles with a time of 17:48. Hillcrest Academy, all 20 of its points came from Owen Scott. Scott posted the 3 highest finishes on the day for the Ravens, taking second in the 200 meter dash, 24.96 was his time there. And then he finished third in long jump, 19:09.00, and he also took third in the high jump after clearing 6 foot. And then finally, Mid Prairie was led by Jaden Stafford, picked up 4 wins on the day, won the 101 meter, 201 meter, 401 meter, and 800 meter wheelchair events. And then outside of that, Burkeberry took 4th in the shot put, a throw of 44 feet 02 inches. So, yeah, a lot of results there. If you want to look through all of them, got all the top 5 finishes in the story there. So, yeah, that's it from the Demon Relays, the annual co-ed Demon Relays there.
Yeah, there we go. And a lot of our teams will be in Fort Madison today. There's a little varsity girls track at Fort Madison today, and we have Cardinal, Highland, Mount Pleasant, Newland, and Van Buren and Van Buren County. Those aren't 2 different schools. Conference websites. Washington and Winfield Mount Union, and then Fairfield will be hosting their boys meet tonight. That's Pekin is there, Van Buren County is there, so a few of our teams. And then actually, Fairfield's going to be home of the big 3 today. Fairfield's got home track, home tennis, and home Mario Kart today. That esports team's been
like Mario Kart.
I love it. If it was the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart, I might be able to give those guys a run for their money. They have a really good esports team, though. Also, last night, the Waco Relays, smaller meet here, but we had a team championship from the Van Buren County Warriors. On the boys' side, Van Buren first, Waco second, English Valley's third, and New London fourth. Girls' side, Van Buren, Waco, and New London in that order. So that's your track report for this Tuesday, April the 9th, 2024, in the year of our Lord. And we're going to go do some commercials. And when we come back, we're going to hit stuff, tennis and golf. We're going to hit stuff.
Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Step back in time and create unforgettable memories of the 2024 Midwest Old Threshers reunion. Gather the family and immerse yourselves in the nostalgic charm of steam engines, antique cars and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and the horses. Whether it's the savory delights from the North Village, to the log cabin, or the unforgettable concerts, this is where memories are crafted. Plan now to bask in the history of the past from August 29th to September 2nd in Mount Pleasant. Visit oldthreshers.com for details. Don't miss this chance to make timeless memories.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Welcome back, friends, to Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk. We are talking little tennis. And our man, Hunter the Moeller. Hunter the Moeller. Like, hey, when you go to the dentist, do they call you Hunter the Moeller?
No.
That'd be a great nickname. I don't even know which teeth are the molars. I don't want to show it because I'm not very confident in my brushing this morning as a quick brush.
That's okay.
You were at a little boys tennis last night.
Yes, I was.
How'd that go? A little Fairfield Mount Pleasant boys tennis.
Yeah,
rivalry teams.
Yeah, and probably the two hottest teams in the Southeast Conference right now. Heading into this one, both were unbeaten, but it's Fairfield that asserts itself 8-1 over Mount Pleasant in this one. Fairfield's looking really, really good. In singles, Rumen Luau 1-0 over Phoenix Watson, 8-2 in that set. Han Wang 8-0 over Gavin Ross. Austin Loria over Sawyer Fulton, 8-1. Ethan Cass over Zach Johnson, 8-1. Rylan Anderson, 8-6 over Dane Cook. And then the one win for Mount Pleasant on the day came in the position 6 singles match. Elijah Reiners, 8-4 over Nico Emerson. There. And then in doubles, let me pull it up real quick. Watson and Fulton fall to Luau and Wang, 8-3. Ross and Cook fall to Loria and Emerson, 8-2. And then Johnson and Reiners fall to Cass and Anderson, 8-5. So pretty dominant win for Fairfield. And, heading into this one, I mentioned both were undefeated. Both have been playing pretty well. Last week, Fairfield picked up a dominant win over Burlington. Ended with the Trojans on top 8-1. And then on Mount Pleasant's side, they handled Let me see. They handled Keokuk 8-1 as well. So looking at it so far, it's like, looking at this result, it's like Fairfield's looking really, really good here in the early season.
Yeah.
Just looking at those other results, basing it off that. But Fairfield picks up a win on the boys' side and still undefeated and looks to be rolling here early on.
Yes, and that was not the only time last night that Fairfield and Mount Pleasant met up for an undefeated showdown. Fairfield girls had only had one match going into last night. Mount Pleasant was 3-0, Fairfield was 1-0, and this was a battle for the ages on the tennis courts at Fairfield Middle School. Mount Pleasant 5, Fairfield 4 went right down to the very end. In singles, we had a 3-3 slugfest. What was I going to say? I was going to say like, what's the word when both sides don't move? Not a stalemate, but you know what I mean. Thinking of this?
Yeah.
It was not enough 3-3. You people at home know the word I'm looking for. Anyway, the Mount Pleasant Panthers got a win out of Jana Isantavila, who you speak of the Maharishi kids playing for Fairfield this year in boys. She's from Winfield Valley Union Co-op with Mount Pleasant, and she's been huge for them. 8-0 over Emma Windland in the number 1 game. Mount Pleasant got a couple of real close wins. Mary Kate Peterson in number 3 beats Lola Hatchett, and then Bethany Drury beats Soraya Yamaner 8-6 in the number 4 matchup. Now Fairfield wins number 2 matchup. Here's another close one. So there were 3 absolute nail biters here. Natalie Steele 8-6 over Ellie Sittimyoung. And then in the 5 and 6, Una Carter beats Victoria Smith 9-0. And Marion Duncan beats Audrey Richmond 8-1. I don't know why it says 9-0. It's probably technically 8-0. Maybe there was a little misclick on there. So then they go to doubles. Whoever wins 2 doubles matches, you got the win here. The number 1 match, Windland and Hatchet were able to take down Asantavila and Sittimyoung 8-1. And then those other 2 matches, Mount Pleasant's Asantavila and Sittimyoung beat Windland and Hatchet 8-1. Apologies. Fairfield won the number 2 doubles match. Steele and Yamaner beat Peterson and Smith 8-5. And in the number 3 doubles match, Bethany Drury and Audrey Richmond pull out an 8-5 win over Duncan and Faven Germarium for Fairfield. And that is it for Mount Pleasant. A 5-4 victory for the Panthers, who are now 4-0 in the sport of girls tennis, with conference wins over Fairfield, Keokuk, and Fort Madison. You only got Burlington in there left with a girls tennis team.
Well,
and yeah, we'll see how that all works out. So that's all we got for tennis. How about a little golf? You want to talk a little golf? I got a little golf for us.
Yeah, I've got a little girls golf for us.
Ooh, why don't you start out with a little girls golf, then I'll find my girls golf.
Okay. I was gonna say it's been a pretty good start to the season for the Mount Pleasant girls golf team. Last week kicked things off. Obviously, some weather canceled. I think the first meet of the season was going to be in Washington last Monday. It got canceled because of the rain. Southeast Conference things got kicked off at Fairfield on Thursday last week. And Mount Pleasant takes the first Southeast Conference meet of the season. 202 points was the lowest. Fort Madison second, 224. Washington third, 226. Keokuk fourth, 232. Fairfield 260, and then Burlington 273. See if everyone has their double check on these.
Oh, you're talking about the Fort Madison girls meet? Sorry, I got distracted for a second.
No, I was talking about this. This one's from last week.
Okay, sorry.
When they started in Fairfield.
You got it.
So not everyone has the results in Varsity Bound, but Kylie Walderbach, I believe she finished second. I believe what's her name from Burlington? Her name's not in here, but
I did send you you're right, and I sent you I actually have those now because we didn't have individual results from Burlington, and
you just sent me the Fairfield results.
Lauren Briggs from Burlington.
Lauren Briggs was the winner, but Kylie Walderbach of Mount Pleasant. Finishes second there. So nice showing for her. Elena Holtkamp, I believe. It's somewhere since everyone doesn't have their results in, but if I pull up, I guess I can.
I just forwarded you your email. Actually, I forwarded you the results.
That's what I see.
Fun fact. I was there for a little bit, but I didn't have the results, and I emailed Aaron and Jordan, Washington Mount Pleasant's coaches yesterday, and my S key was stuck, so I had to email them with a $sign replacing all the S, so it looked like a murderer email, and. So I got him. Here. So Laura, here I can even. Those are the ones I was going to talk about. Lauren Briggs got first. Kylie Walderbach got second. For Mount Pleasant. Washington's Macy Williams got third with 49. And then Elena Holtkamp, Natalie Prochaska 54, and Elena Holtkamp 55. Those guys were both in the top 10 too. They got 8th and 9th. So Prochaska for Washington, Holtkamp for Mount P. And Savannah Hollander led Fairfield with a 59 and Lucy Cool with a 60. So there we go. Savannah Hollander did a little golf and soccer on back-to-back nights.
Oh, Savannah Hollander's golfing. I didn't realize that.
Yes. So, I saw her. That's why I texted you. I think I texted you during the Fairfield girls soccer game. I was like, is Hollander playing? Because I saw her golf yesterday.
Yeah. I can't even pull up the results. It's not letting me pull up the results of the Fort Madison one. So if you want to just go ahead and.
Oh, I got you. Last night at Fort Madison, it was Keokuk that jumped into the winner's circle with a 210. Mount Pleasant, who won in Fairfield team-wise, goes 221 for second. Burlington scored. Oh, so they had 4 golfers in Fort Madison. They scored 224. One of the Burlington's girls' name is Elena Murders. That is a tough last name. Fort Madison 228, Washington 235, and Fairfield 249. Look at how close the team scores are, by the way.
Yeah,
it is. That is. Washington's just crushed in girls golf for so long.
Yeah,
I remember there was one year where Fairfield and Mount Pleasant were both ranked in the top 3 with them, but and so just some top scorers from there. Lauren Briggs wins again. Walderbach second. Macy Williams, Washington is 4th. We got a little Sophia Walderbach, freshman, got 9th on that one. So there we go. Leader for Washington was Williams. Leader for Fairfield, Lucy Cool, shot a 54, which tied her with Walderbach for. Technically, they tied for 8th. So sorry, that was a little wonky, but it's color coded, and I'm colorblind, so my eyes are having to do things that my brain can't do. And then boys wise, we have the first boys meet. They just keep getting canceled.
Did you you have the results for those?
Sure do. Washington
scores. The Washington scores are insane.
Yes. Oh, do you have them? You want to run through them?
Well, I'm on varsity bound. I didn't get an email about them, so I just have.
Oh, I totally got them. I had them emailed to me. Doug Brenneman from Keokuk. Thank you. 145 for Washington. They win that one. They're the heavy favorites in boys golf this year. Roman Roth 34, Rajan Roth 35, Drew Conrad 37, and Teigmeyer 39 are your 4 scorers, all under 40 for the Demons. And then it was a dogfight for second place. Mount Pleasant gets second with a 171. Reese Kaufman, fresh off his signing a couple weeks ago, gets a 38. Brody Engel 42. Merrick Lamb with a 43, and Nate Dismang ends at 48. Those are your 4 scorers for the Panthers. And then 10 points behind Mount Pleasant were both Fort Madison and Fairfield. Fairfield led by Sam Wheaton, the former all-conference honoree, 42. Kason Miller on the golf team this year for Fairfield. And Drew Myers both go 46. And Archer Kruger gets a 47. So those are those are some pretty good scores for our area boys.
Yeah.
And then Keokuk was behind Burlington, does not golf with them in boys right now. So, they'll be at Mount Pleasant on the 11th in boys. So I have the sheets for us. So I sent them off to you. But that's all we got for a little golf. Oh, and Winfield Mount Union and Columbus did split in golf. Columbus girls win at home, and Winfield boys win on the road in a very early Super Conference. The rest of Super Conference teams will be getting into it this week. So I think that's all we got for high school sports. We're going to talk about March Madness. We're going to talk about our champions.
Yep.
When we get back from this break.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
I am Melissa Westfall with Homegirl Realty. Heather and Charlotte and I have worked together for many years, and we have always had a vision to have a business together.
I'm Charlotte Howard, and the good news is we bring a very high level of experience. We have a combined 80 plus years of experience in this real estate marketplace.
I'm Heather Merrick, and Homegirl Realty brings a lot of things to the table. We have phenomenal communication with our clients, buyers and sellers, to make sure things are going smoothly and you don't have anything to worry about.
At 5 Star Community Credit Union, we want to help you lead a better life. We offer competitive rates and convenient appointment times for all kinds of loans: auto, recreational vehicles, home equity, line of credit, holiday, and personal loans. We make it easy to build your credit and enjoy the good things in life.
We invite you to join 5 Star Community Credit Union. We are community-minded and member-focused. Come visit our locations in West Burlington and Mount Pleasant or online at 5starcu.org. Federally insured through the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk, where we have, I should have got the breaking news thing out. Breaking news. We have champions in the Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk Bracket Challenge.
Yes, we do.
And what did we do during the break? Was I being a responsible host and pulling up the standings so I could just read them off right now?
Nope.
Or were we talking about the Iowa game last night?
Here
we go, groups.
You got it.
Here, I'll pull up. I got
you got
it.
girls or boys?
I'll take girls. I'll take the ladies. You pull up the men's. I'm gonna read off the ladies. Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk, the Ladies Challenge. Head coach of the Washington.
Top four.
I'll go. Yeah, I'll read off the top. I'm just gonna read them off. I'm just gonna read them all off. Colin Stark is our champion with 1,600 points. Our first ever women's champion. Colin Stark, you broke that glass ceiling. You are the first ever women's champion of the Southeast Iowa Union women's. You're the men's champion of the women's. It's the women's tournament. Alex Snyder, congratulations, producer Alex Snyder for second. Mike Wilson, number 3. Dr. Troy Schuerman, number 4. Sarah Kretzinger, number 5. Yours truly, Andy Kretzinger, number 6. Samantha Moeller, number 7. Hunter Moeller, number 8. Troy Schuerman. Sadie Schuerman was 4th. Troy Schuerman gets 9th. Sorry, Sadie. And bringing up the last place, 1,000 points out of first place.
Here we go.
Andrew Holtkamp, who's champion, defeated the only team that got upset in the entire first basically the entire tournament. All right, who we got for boys?
Yeah, on the boys' side, we've got Mike Wilson is this year's champion. Principal Mike Wilson, as you mentioned, on the girls' side. But second place, only missed it by 30 points. Sarah Kretzinger. Third
She's
place,
pretty upset that her boss
Fairfield
beat her.
basketball coach Nate Perkins. And then
I'm a Charger
what
clap.
a finish for this guy this year. Washington head basketball coach, fourth place, Colin Stark.
That's a Charger
In
clap.
fifth place, the first one to not pick UConn but get top 5, yours truly, Hunter Mueller. In sixth place, Andy Kretzinger. Seventh place, Alex Snyder. Eighth place, Dr. Troy Schurman. Ninth place, Samantha Moeller. 10th, Bella Rose Schurman. 11th is Tang, Andy's friend Tang, Matthew Tang. How do you say his last name?
Tangestal.
Tangestal.
Matthew Tangestal, 11th place.
I don't think I've ever said his last name, but I've heard you say it, and I was like, I got to remember how to say it. But you were laughing at him being 11th, weren't you?
That is pretty funny. I actually didn't realize that.
12th place, Andy's daughter, Addie Kretzinger. 13th place, Molly Kretzinger. And then he should just get an award for this. And last place, 14th place, Andrew Holcamp, who went with Moorhead State as his champion.
Good try, Andrew Holtkamp. Only finished 1,210 points off of first place. You just need to improve yourself by about 600% next year, and then only 600 away from beating the only 2-year-old in the competition, and only 120 points off of the only 6-year-old. So room to grow there for Andrew Holtkamp.
Yeah.
I put this on Twitter, Colin Stark and Mike Wilson. You can make a video, send it in. You guys work at school, so I know it'll be appropriate. We'll play it. I'll figure out a way to play it on next week's. Real quick, not even real quick. I know you have to go here pretty soon to take your dog.
Yep.
But I have some things to say. So you go first. Iowa beats UConn and loses to South Carolina in the women's. And then there was a huge controversy about people hating on Caitlin Clark pretty much throughout. What were your thoughts?
Well, first off to the game, I mean, I felt like we definitely could have won, but I felt like the better team won at the end of the day. Like looking at the stats and how it played out. Long story short, South Carolina was just bigger. I mean, they were hitting threes like left and right down the stretch too.
Yeah, they were.
Which was driving me crazy. Yeah, but we got out rebounded like 1,000,000 to 1,000,000 to 1. So not much you can do about that other than just give South Carolina their flowers, I guess. But yeah, the Caitlin Clark hate is, I don't know. It's I don't know how it's warranted, but that's just my opinion.
Egregious? Would you say it's egregious?
Like the people that are like, yeah, she's not good or whatever because she lost back-to-back championships. It's like, do you realize that the two teams that they had to play are absolutely loaded? Like,
yeah.
Like looking at Iowa's like roster, like
the last three teams that they played.
I don't want to say like it's like they're, I don't know. I guess the point is Iowa obviously relied on Clark too, but looking at these other teams, like they're just loaded with like top talent from around the country. If you look at Iowa, it's mostly players. The whole starting five is players from like
the Midwest,
like hardly even like maybe like 150 miles from like around from Iowa City. You know what I mean? Like I know some are like from Chicago, so I guess a little, I guess 150 miles might not be. But long story short, they're like mostly around like not too far from Iowa City, like region, like, branched around the Midwest area, around this area. Whereas, South Carolina, LSU, UConn are pulling players. They're always going to get top tier talent from around the country because of, just the pedigree of their like program and stuff. So
yes,
I think it's
hopefully Iowa gets that now that everyone likes Iowa because of Caitlin Clark. Yeah. But who knows?
So I mean, I don't know. I think it was just Iowa is more of like they've played together for a long time. Like they're really good. They're really like their camaraderie is really good because they played together for a long time. So they're a really good team. Whereas South Carolina is a great team, right? But it also helps that you have some of the best talent around the country too. But
yeah,
I don't know. The Caitlin Clark slander just makes me angry.
It does. Yeah, for the game, like South Carolina was awesome. Can't even rip on them. They didn't get ref help like LSU did last year. Looking back, it kind of stinks that that CC and the Hawkeyes had to beat LSU, who was stacked with talent, then beat UConn, stacked with talent, and then and then they would have had to beat South Carolina. Great start. In hindsight, maybe they should have given Caitlin Clark a tiny little breather with a couple, for a couple minutes in the second quarter. That way, you could just be like, you just go off. You're the only one that scores. Right. I will say Caitlin Clark's teammates played better than Zach Edey's teammates did last night. Gabby Marshall, I have no complaints on her. She played great.
She played I think she played the best defense out of anybody around the perimeter for sure.
She did, and she knows when to take a shot and when to not take a shot. I appreciate that. I think all the role players have their goods and bads, but I don't remember her having any bads. And then the Caitlin Clark slander. You get these players, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi. They both basically kind of ripped on her they don't straight out go, but they're like, every single time that somebody they're like, oh yeah, that girl from USC, she's really probably the best overall player, and then she gets knocked out. Well, Paige Becker's probably really the best overall player, and then you know what, they do kind of that stuff, and you know what, and then they say stuff like that. They're mad that UConn lost in the Final Four, and what else? Lynette Woodard said that Caitlin Clark really didn't score more points than her. I saw a lot of those points, so I can confirm.
Yeah, saw that.
Did. And
Diana Taurasi said was they've got a rude awakening, basically. But they didn't say her, but
yes, she basically said that Caitlin Clark was going to get beat up in the WNBA. All the former stars seem to dislike her. It seems, and then they'll come back and kind of save themselves. But I mean, let's be honest. And then I haven't really, I've heard people kind of defend Caitlin Clark in a very media-friendly way. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, they kind of feel sorry. They're like, they don't really go back at Taurasi and Bird and Woodard and all them. They're just kind of like, you really should be more respectful. But, you're right. Diana Taurasi and Brianna Stewart, they are some pretty good players. So they're allowed to give their, it's kind of like they're treating the haters with kid gloves. Have you noticed that the haters have been treated with kid gloves on ESPN and Fox Sports?
Yeah.
Do we use kid gloves on Southeast Iowa Union though?
No,
Hunter. In the 2 years of this show, have we been using kid gloves on Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk?
Never.
No, we don't, Hunter. We don't use kid gloves on this show. We do not use kid gloves on Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk. We don't mince words. We don't sit out here and be nice when people disrespect the great state of Iowa. We put on the real gloves. And guess what? Those players, nobody ever watched you. The ratings stunk. You all went to the same school. It wasn't fun. I know. Everyone knows what WNBA team Caitlin Clark is going to play for before they draft her. I can tell you one team Diana Taurasi played for. Nobody cares. Nobody come to the games. Now there's people coming to the games. It's because of one person. Bam! And guess what? I was happy to figure out, because I don't know what Brianna Stewart's been doing with her life, nor did I care, but she's in the WNBA. And in 2 months, Caitlin Clark is going to break her ankles. Bam, bam! Hitting threes in her face. She's going to prove who the best player is. She's going to prove who the GOAT is. So now I'm all in on the WNBA, only one team. I got Fever. And Lynette Woodard didn't even know. No, that's not true. I knew who she was. But get out there right now. You'll get your hip broke by Caitlin Clark when she crosses you up. Oh, bam! So I'm excited for her to go shut down the haters. And I'll be on Twitter being just as poor of a sport as I was this Final Four.
Oh, that's great.
And I invite everyone to put on the real gloves with me, stand on the front lines.
I love it.
Thank you. Shout out Jen Cohorst for selling me these boxing gloves and a punching bag. I'm going to be so ripped next year.
The Caitlin Clark hate is going to push you to start boxing, huh?
Oh, I should just put on audio of all the hatred when I hit the bag.
There you go.
Boom. Bam. Who was? Oh, Jay Williams. Jay Williams is like, oh, she didn't win a championship. It's like, bro, you went to the team that already won before you got there. You're a ring chaser, Jay Williams. Bam. What'd you do in the NBA? Nothing. Oh wait, did he get hurt?
Yeah, he got in like a car accident.
Oh, sorry about that. He was a bull too. Sorry about that last one. Cut that, Alex. But did he do anything in his rookie year? I don't remember anything. No one goes to the Bulls and does anything. Scott Van Pelt, he was crying. Anyway, you gotta go. So I'm gonna take those off.
I mean, I can leave and you can continue if you want.
Bam! Quit ripping on Iowa. We're here to defend it. All right, I think that's it for Southeast Iowa Sports Talk.
Yep.
Watch
That was
News
great,
Break.
Evan.
We'll be back next week talking high school sports.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to our sponsors.